Maritime history is filled with stories of ships that vanished without a trace, only to reappear years later, shrouded in eerie mystery. Among these, the tale of the Octavius stands as one of the most haunting and, inexplicable. Unlike the well-documented saga of the Mary Celeste, the Octavius emerged from the mists of time with a legend so chilling it continues to stir imaginations more than 2 centuries later. The story begins in 1761 when the Octavius, a 3-masted schooner, departed from the port of London. She was fully crewed and carried not just the captain, but also his wife and young son, an unusual arrangement that suggested a confident voyage. Her destination was China, where she arrived without incident, offloading her cargo and preparing for the long return journey home. Rather than retrace the traditional safer route around the Cape of Good Hope, the captain made a daring decision. The weather was unseasonably warm, and he chose to attempt the treacherous and then unconquered Northwest Passage, a sea route through the Arctic connecting the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. It was a fateful choice. The Octavius was never heard from again and was eventually declared lost with all hands. It wasn't until October 11th, 1775, 14 years later, that the mystery deepened. The whaling ship Herald was navigating the icy waters off the coast of Greenland when her crew sighted a derelict vessel drifting silently through the fog. As they drew closer, they saw it was aged and weather-beaten, with tattered sails clinging loosely to its rigging. The name on the hull read Octavius. The captain of the Herald dispatched a boarding party. What they found would become one of the most macabre discoveries in maritime lore. Below deck, the ship was eerily still. The boarding crew found all 28 members of the Octavius's crew frozen where they had perished, preserved by the Arctic cold. In the captain's cabin, the scene was even more disturbing. The captain sat at his desk, frozen in place, pen still in hand as if he had died mid-sentence. The ship's logbook lay open before him. Near the desk was the captain's wife, wrapped in a blanket on the bunk, and their son, lifeless but perfectly preserved. Terrified, the boarding party grabbed what they could, the ship's log, and fled back to the Herald. In their rush, they lost many of the logbook's middle pages, which had frozen together and come loose. Only the first and last entries remained intact. From these pages, the master of the Herald pieced together the final chapter of the Octavius's doomed voyage. The last recorded coordinates placed the ship at 75 degrees north, 160 degrees west, some 250 miles north of Barrow, Alaska, deep within the Arctic. It was clear the ship had become icebound and that the crew had succumbed to the freezing temperatures. What made the discovery even more astonishing was the location of the Octavius when the Herald encountered it, off the coast of Greenland. Somehow, over the years, the frozen vessel had broken free from the Arctic ice and drifted thousands of miles, completing the very passage it had set out to conquer. But its crew never lived to see that triumph. Gripped by fear and superstition, the Herald's crew refused to tow the Octavius or disturb it further. They left it to the sea, believing it cursed. The Octavius drifted away once more into the fog and was never seen again. To this day, the tale of the Octavius endures as both a maritime mystery and, well, a stark reminder of nature's unforgiving power. Whether entirely true or maybe just a bit embellished, the story really captures that timeless human fascination with the sea and the secrets it keeps hidden in its depths. What do you think really happened to Octavius? Was it a tragic case of ambition meeting the brutal reality of Arctic exploration? Or does something, I don't know, a bit more mysterious lie beneath the surface of this ghost ship's tale? We'd love to hear your thoughts, theories, or any similar maritime legends you've come across. So, go ahead and share your comments below and join the conversation. Enjoy stories like this one? Well, Subscribe to our channel to get more fascinating tales from the edge of history. Mysteries, legends, and forgotten moments from the past. Stay curious, stay informed, and above all, stay inspired.